Hey, we're back again with another Print UV update. Today, I am blessed with my guest. We have Rod Franson of the Carlson Print Group. Welcome, Rod. How you doing?
Great. How are you doing, Warren?
Now that you're here, I'm spectacular.
Oh, you smoozer.
Hey, a salesman at heart, always a salesman, right? It's whatever it takes.
I hear ya.
So I've been doing a little series on Print UV, and basically, there's two things about Print UV this year. Number one, it's back. It's every 2 years, and you don't want to miss it. And number two is this is the year that we're going to honor the co-founder, our late friend Hans Ulland. And wow, I don't even know what to say after I say that.
Yeah.
Just leaves a little void in me right now. But
Right.
can you just tell us about why you come to Print UV, the company? You've been going for a long time, what it means?
Correct. So years back in 2008 when the economy crashed, general commercial print, all that ends up being we lost 9 million in sales just like that out of uh, between real estate, uh, finance, print. That right there was 8 million, and then we lost some packaging because they ended up getting a new operations manager that didn't feel all business should be in one location. At the time, I went to our owners and we said we need to set ourselves and differentiate ourselves. That's when we went out and bought our first roll-in with cold foil, well before the UV part of cold foil was introduced. I got introduced to Hans, basically saying that he wants to start a print UV conference, thought it would be good. John Jerstow was a huge part of it in the beginning. And so we shared some notes back and forth, and I thought it would be a great opportunity for us to attend that, gathering information needed to start advancing us in the UV world so that we could set ourselves different, not only in the cold foil, but in the UV, rebrand our company to set ourselves different than just general commercial print. And so we went to the first UV conference, not knowing Hans, but seeing how they had it set up between him and Steve. And it is just the most well run conference. And you get what you put into it out of it. And just we come out of there and instantly went into the UV side of the print, and our company's been onward and upward since that. So
Wow. So I refer to it as the greatest show on earth.
it is the greatest show on earth.
I've taken it from Barnum and Bailey's or whatever the circus
Yeah,
was called.
yeah,
My story is similar to yours. I made a big investment. I think it was 5 million bucks right before the world crashed in 2008. Ended up going to the UV conference because we had the UV press and didn't know what to do with it. And it was actually at that show where I met. It was Kurt Kooning. I'm getting his last name right, I hope. He was a UV guy who's been in it for so long. When I was up
right,
on a panel and he was on the same panel, I made a deal with him on the panel to come to our plant for 5 weeks and help us. And that put us a year ahead because we knew nothing, right? And this was not
right,
LED. This was when you're still turning the knobs and cranking
right,
and stuff's going out through the ceiling. And I'm going to say he put us a year ahead and saved us $100,000 plus of just wasting plastics and substrates learning,
right,
right? And you said it best about you get out what you put in, and Print UV is one show where, and I'll keep saying it, no one is divulging anything proprietary that they're doing for their customers, but all the basic ways things are done, there are
right.
no secrets.
No,
So people are helping and they're sharing with ideas. Someone could tell you everything, you still have to figure out how to do it when you go back,
right. That's
right?
what I've
So
always said. I mean, you can sit and interact with anyone out there. You got to come back and still walk the walk. You got to be able to do it. And as you know, Warren, when you get into plastics and everything, it's not for the weak. it's
it's,
it's definitely not for the weak because I
it's
tell you what, that can upset you real fast if you have a job that goes south.
I'm holding on to my heart because I'll just real quickly remember the first plastics job that we did when I bought the UV press, and it was a 56 incher. And somebody had heard, and they called me up and they offered me a job. And people may have heard this before, but 85,000 sheets of 4042 plastic. I did the calculation, 14,000 sheets an hour it goes, we'll run 10, blah, blah, blah. Give the guy a price of $85,000. Doesn't take us 3 weeks. It takes us 6 weeks to do. And at the end, first of all, you can only run 3, 4, 5,000 sheets an hour,
Yep.
right? Depending on what you're laying down on it. And then at the end of it, my client was actually fairly good at the time. He said to me, go back and redo the quote at 6,000 sheets an hour. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. So I go back, I redo the quote, 6,000 sheets an hour. I get $135,000. And I'm, oh man, I love this guy. I go back, I send it to him. He's like, okay, price is right. We're good. He goes, now take off $50,000 for the plastic that you ruined. So I got my $85,000 at the end, which I calculated in my head, and he didn't charge me for all the plastic that I ruined.
Yeah.
Right. So it gets a little crazy.
It's definitely definitely a life lesson.
Yeah. So absolutely, anybody listening, if you're in UV, if you're getting into UV, you want to come to the Print UV conference, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And if
I've talked to some people, Warren, because they've bought a press that's got a UV coater, they all of a sudden think they're a UV printer. No, go to the UV conference, because like I said earlier, what you put into it's what you'll get out of it, and it's worth every penny and more.
Yeah. Oh, it's priceless.
Yeah.
Priceless. And if you come, I'll have a drink with you. I mean, that means I have to have with everyone. 200 drinks over 2 days.
Right.
Won't be the first time. And then the second thing about the conference, which is really the bigger picture, is a tribute to Hans.
Right.
I just think of Hans, and I think of great smile, but he always had this thing about just get it done. So even though it was a nice smile, it was a big push to make things happen, and he always made things happen.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, what do you recall about Hans? Like,
Boy, I tell you, one, first, it's hard to even believe yet, and two, it's like, where do you begin? I mean, you're talking about a legend in the industry here. This guy has touched so many companies, so many people's personal hearts, and like you said, that contagious smile, it's priceless. And what I know from him over the years is, if you cross paths with Hans, whether on a business level or personal level, you had a friend for life. And it's just hard to believe that he's no longer with us, and he's going to be so deeply missed. Carlson Print Group would not be where we are today without Print UV, and without Hans convincing us to go there, and then him always wanting to follow up and see that your company is doing the best that they can. He never, ever left you outside hanging on anything. If he talked you into reviewing something, checking into it, he would help see you through it. A guy, I mean, I can't say enough positive things about him, and he's just going to be so deeply missed. He already is.
There is nobody like him.
No.
Right? I mean,
this guy would give you the shirt off his back if you needed it. I mean, he just cared about people. He cared about business. He is passionate. Like you said, that contagious smile. I mean, it's just like, I don't care what your day was like. If you run into Hans that day, he had a way of lifting you up, brightening up your day, and thinking life isn't bad.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I think back to all the time with him and all the shows, and just all I remember is him smiling.
Yeah.
And I guess that's pretty good if somebody could leave you and you don't, it's too bad that he left us, but just that big grin, that big smile. His wife and kids will be at this conference, by the way. So anybody
that's
listening,
awesome.
Yeah. So if anybody listening,
beautiful family.
Yeah. If you've been to the conference before, please come back and show your support. If you haven't been, come show some support, but come and learn something and just, do something good for yourself.
This one's definitely going to be heart touching.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to leave it just with a smile and a heartfelt thought for our friend Hans
Yeah,
and a little chuckle. And
yeah.
www.printUV.com. If you're listening, you'd still get a discount up until the end of January. And if your vendor is kind enough to give you a discount coupon, don't tell Steve, but you could put the two of them together and get a double discount. If you have a problem, just call me.
All
Look
right.
forward to seeing everybody there. Rod, always great to speak to you, see you, and look forward to seeing you down in Vegas.
Likewise, Warren, we'll have one on Hans out there.
Oh, I'm sure there'll
Yeah,
be plenty
yeah.
on Hans.
There's going to be a lot of stories shared out there. And like you said, if you've been there before, this is the one to attend.
Absolutely. We'll
All
see you
right.
there.
All right. God bless you, my friend.
Cheers.